Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. How are we today? I hope we're doing well on this Wednesday evening. We are back with some more voiceover stuff today. Nothing to report. Oh, one thing that doesn't pertain to this, but I've been working on a cosplay lately, and it's actually almost done. It's only taken me maybe like 4 days total to put it together, which I'm really proud of. There's just a piece, one article left to make, and then it'll be done. So that's pretty cool. It's been really fun putting that together. But I guess that has no relevance to the stream, does it? Anyway, nothing else. Well, I won't be here Friday because I'll be on vacation. So this is the last stream of the week. So yeah, there you go, I guess. Okay, so with that, I think let me check to see everything is right on my end. Okay, we're good. So we're picking up right where we left off. Outnumbered 2-1. Let's hear our previous day. We're engaging multiple titans. Engaging a band of titans. We're in the company of several hostile titans. Entering combat with a number of titans. Entering multi-titan scenario. Don't get ambushed. We're walking into multiple titans. Make sure we've got an ally. Multitude of hostile titans in the area. We should pick our fights carefully. Okay, alright. What does this sound like? Outnumbered 2-1. Outnumbered 2-1. Outnumbered 2-1. We should pick our fights carefully. Alright. So what's the first line for the day? 2 titans to our 1, pilot. Okay. 2 titans to our 1, pilot. Two titans to our 1, pilot. 2 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 titans to our 1, pilot. Okay. So I think the third one here is just the best one. It's got everything, right? It's properly enunciated. It's clear. I think the delivery is pretty interesting, relatively. 2 titans to our 1, pilot. Yeah, I think it's a solid take. It's not very often we get a just a clearly best take So I'll take it. No pun intended. Snap that in there. Save the game. They're a gun up on us. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. They're a gun up on us. They're a gun up on us. Like one gun up on our amount of guns. Does that make sense? I need to make sure it doesn't sound like gun upon us. They're a gun upon us. Maybe I should rewrite that. They're a gun up on us. Oh no, let's try it. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. Okay. I think I figured it out. A gun up on us. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. I think these middle two are worth taking a look at. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. This one, the second one feels a little too loose, a little breathy. So we'll go with this one. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. Okay. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. On a bit of a roll here. Outnumbered 2-1. Don't stop moving. So what did the first line where I said outnumbered 2-1 sound like? Outnumbered 2-1. Okay. Outnumbered 2-1. Don't stop moving. 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 Outnumbered 2-1. Outnumbered 2-1. Outnumbered 2-1. Don't stop moving. 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 So here's the deal. I don't think those last two takes are the best, but these last two takes are the only ones that don't have that popping sound in the middle. I don't know if you heard it. Like the sound. That sound. You can hear it between 2 to 1 and don't. Outnumbered 2 to 1. Don't stop moving. Outnumbered 2 to 1. Don't stop. Yeah, see. So let's ignore that, I guess. And just listen to everything else. Outnumbered 2. And then we'll recreate the one we like the best in a separate take. Outnumbered 2 to 1. Don't stop moving. 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 Excuse me. Hasn't happened in a while, now that I think about it. Ugh. Okay, so. I like the second one. And I wonder if we can just remove the pop. Don't. 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 So what if we just 2 to 1. Don't stop moving. Oh, right. Okay, so you can just do that. Outnumbered 2 to 1. Don't stop moving. Outnumbered 2 to 1. Don't stop moving. Okay, well that works. I thought it would be too closely like entwined. But doesn't seem to be an issue. Kaboom. Okay. Next up, outnumbered 3 to 1. Same situation, triggers in the same situation that 2 to 1 does, but there's 3 enemy titans now, which means you're really, really screwed in most cases. I mean, Warhorse doesn't have crowd control, but they do have escape options. So, it's not hopeless, but yeah, this is a pretty bad situation for Warhorse to be in. But before we move on to recording anything, I need to take a quick trip to the restroom, so be right back. I'm back. Check, check. Okay. So, outnumbered 3-1. Outnumbered 2-1. Outnumbered 3-1. 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 Okay, so this time we actually have some options. I didn't peek there, did I? Uh-oh. Well, it doesn't look like I did. I'll just split up all these. Wait, okay. I want to keep... Delete the ones I don't want to keep. Delete. Okay. Outnumbered 3-1. Okay, so let's see if any of these fail in like articulation or whatever, so we can get rid of those pretty easy. Outnumbered 3-1. Outnumbered 3-1. Dang it. Outnumbered 3-1. Outnumbered 3-1. Outnumbered 3-1. Outnumbered. Okay, well, I want to take this. Well, actually, hold on. Outnumbered 3-1. This one's a little bit too intense, I think. Outnumbered 3-1. Outnumbered 3-1. Outnumbered 3-1. Outnumbered 3-1. I prefer the unique delivery here. Outnumbered 3-1. Outnumbered 3-1. I think it more captures the outnumbered 3-1. The severity of the situation. So we'll take this one. Whoop. Save. We're alone against a posse of 3. 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 Okay, I already know there's a couple of good ones in there. We're alone against a posse of 3. 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 Okay. Too much breath on the last one. We're alone against a posse of 3. This one just isn't remarkable. We're alone against a posse. We're alone against a posse of 3. The pause just makes him sound too scared. So we'll look at these 4. We're alone against a posse of 3. We're alone against a posse of 3. We're alone against a posse of 3. Okay, it's fine. Kind of slow, though. But solid delivery. We're alone against a posse of 3. Good intensity, but a little breathy on the end. We're alone against a posse of 3. We're alone against a posse of 3. That's got the intensity and no breath. We're alone against a posse of 3. We're alone against a posse of 3. That's got a little too much panic and has some breath on the end. So I think 3 overall I like the most. Yeah. What? That was weird. Also, in keeping up with tradition, I have to do a little thing right quick. Oh, wait. There it is. Okay. There we go. Just had to throw that in there. We're alone against a posse of 3. We're alone against a posse of 3. Good. I'm back. Gotta be careful moving this chair around so willy-nilly. This thing tends to fall down. I don't know if that's even in frame. Alright, this one kind of rhymes. It's a little... Wow, this is a really long one. 3-1, we're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. 3-1, we're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. Three to one. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. A little breathy there. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended.
Same thing.
3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended.
Okay, solid.
3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended.
Okay, put that on the docket.
3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended.
It's like the other ones, but worse. Okay. Chop off the first two and the last. Take a look at these.
3-1. We're severely 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. Rendezvous with team is recommended. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. 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 Rendezvous with team is recommended.
I think this one has the best overall.
3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended.
I was considering, splicing these, like splitting them up, swapping the first and last parts around, like I've done with some other lines. But I think this one has the superior first half and second half. So jolly good, jolly good. What's next? Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Yeah, so you can see at this point, outnumbered 3-1, Warhorse has a little less faith in your chances of survival. But, still implying that there may be a way out of this if you're smart, right? If you're really smart, if you have a big brain. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. And so what does the first one sound like?
Outnumbered 3-1. We're alone against a posse. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Outnumbered 3-1. Find backup and call for cover. Wait. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup.
Find backup and call for cover. Call cover, find backup. What did I even say? I peeked there too, so it doesn't even matter.
Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Outnumbered 3-1. Find backup and call for cover. Wait. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup.
So that one is certainly getting nixed, but these last two as well, I think, are unworthy. I like these two.
Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call.
I was trying a different what is it? Rhythm? Is it rhythm? Different articulation? Enunciation. Different enunciation with this, just to try something. I don't know if you noticed I was trying to sort of do a downward movement to translate into a downward movement of the line. Just to see. I think this, I kind of like it, but this first line, I think it's too emphasized.
Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup.
This one, though, I think it's just right. Like, you can still hear the downward movement, but it's not as, like, exaggerated. However,
find cover and call for backup. 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 Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup.
Yeah, I think I don't like this one.
Find cover and call for backup.
The pause, the air at the end. So what I want to do is do the classic 7/0 split, you know what I'm saying? We'll humor this one as well, just for laughs.
Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup.
But this is our main attraction.
Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup.
Though we need to be shortened a little bit.
Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover.
Still too much dead space there. Try this. Try this on for size.
Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup.
Good. I think that's good timing. Boop. Delete you guys. You don't need to exist anymore. Glue them together. And boom. That's four down. I think we're on a good pace here. And I don't think we're sacrificing quality for speed. I think I'm just being more decisive here. Or maybe I'm getting better at this. Who knows? That could be it. Okay. So next up, we have Outnumbered 4-1. And I don't know if you are able to guess this, but this is the same as 2-1 and 3-1, but there's 4 instead. This is really bad. It doesn't matter what Titan you are. This sucks. That's more than half of the enemy team versus just you. So if you don't leave immediately, you're pretty much screwed. And especially for Warhorse, who is who would be the squishiest Titan in the game. This is just warp out of there. No real deliberation has to be had here. You evacuate or die. Outnumbered 4-1. 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 I peeked there. That's an automatic disqualification. I'll just leave I'll just put an X there preemptively. Get that out of me. Get that out of my face, I mean. Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. Okay. I see me. Most of these I feel are good. Outnumbered 4-1. So that's got breath on the end. So we'll cut that out. Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. That seems a little, well, I mean, I guess they would be justified to be panicked. But it's a little intense, a little bit extreme. Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. Guys, my intention was that the emphasis on the 4 would be enough to get across that this is really bad. How'd you even get here? How are you this badly out of position? This sucks. 4, Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. Yeah, okay, so I'll get rid of this. I like these deliveries better. Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. I guess the question now is, do I like this more intense version or no?
Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1.
Yeah, I think it fits better. Because again, this is one of the worst situations possible. I mean, you'll notice that, technically it is possible to be outnumbered by enemy titans 6-1. But past 4 at a time, it's like, it doesn't even matter. Like, adding a 5th one on there doesn't really make it that much more dangerous, because having 4 there is already probably one of the worst situations you can find yourself in. So, yeah, I mean, I think it'd be justified to have more, like a little bit more freaked out energy, I guess. Four of them, one of us.
Four of them, one of us. Four of them, one of us. Four of them, one of us. Four of them, one of us. Four of them, one of us. Four of them, one of us. Four of them, one of us. Four of them, one of us. Trying to go for like a four of them, one of us, do the math. Sort of tone. Four of them, one of us. 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 Four of them, one of us.
Ooh, okay, so I'm going to be eliminating a number of these. Boop, boop. Quick side note, this isn't related to the project at all, but I'm kind of, well, maybe I shouldn't be surprised. There isn't a voice acting or voiceover category on Twitch. And, it would be helpful if there was. Maybe it's just not as maybe it's just not very common of a thing on Twitch to stream voiceover. Probably not, actually. But like IRL or just chatting is just such a broad category, Like, how do you find what you really want? I mean, hot tubs have their own category, don't they? So, like, I don't know, why not voiceover? I mean, there are at least 2 people that are interested in watching people do voiceover on stream, right? I mean, at least 2. I don't know. Anyway, I unhighlighted them all, didn't I? I want to get rid of everything that didn't fit the sort of tone I was going for, or had some breath to it. So let's take a look at these. I'm not entirely sold on these, but I think they're the best.
4 of them, 1 of us.
Sounds a little like a chant, a little like a cult chant.
4 of them, 1 of us.
What does that remind me of?
Fusa ooh, fusa ah.
From Madagascar. Maybe that's it. Or what is it? What do they say in the fish tank? Shark bait, shark bait. Ooh ha ha. That's what this kind of reminds me of.
4 of them, 1 of us. 4 of them, 1 of us. 4 of them, 1 of us.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get rid of Fusa Ooh. Listen to these again.
4 of them, 1 of us. 4 of them, 1 of us. 4 of them, 1 of us.
I think this one captures the forebodingness a little bit better. This one just sounds a little too happy about it.
4 of them, 1 of us.
1 of us. Yep, we're gonna die. It doesn't quite fit to me. Another tangent. I prefer, I like one goal for the stream is that it'd be like a collaborative thing. But I think doing that with a voiceover kind of is difficult, It's like, what do you ask? I mean, I could ask, which of these deliveries do you think is better than the other? And, there could be interesting, opinions about that. But most of the time it comes down to like, I'm essentially my own director. You know what I mean? I don't know. Cause like, what do you say? Like, oh, you should do the line this way instead. And I could be like, I mean, I'll try it. I mean, that's true. But, that would require people in chat to do that. I don't really even know if there are people here. But I have no qualms about speaking into the void. That's almost kind of like what voice acting is anyway, isn't it? I mean, had I not been on stream, I would just be in this room by myself anyway, so. Anyway, tangent 2 over. We have another long one here. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. Let me prop this up here.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
The first take was so good, except for the disgusting gut noise in the middle. I don't know what to do. I ate at 12 o'clock. Right? Why is this still happening? Well, I didn't make the best dietary choices today. I will admit that. What did I have? I had like a sausage sandwich on toasted bread with like mustard and onions on it. Very bad choice, vocally, but it was delicious. So we're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Yeah. I won't make you listen to that again. This isn't an ASMR stream, after all.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
Okay.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
Okay. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, so other than the oops, shouldn't have done that. Other than the disgusting gut noise take, I think all the other 5 are pretty passable. So let's listen to these a little more closely.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
Okay. I heard a breath in there, like a inhale.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
Okay. I mean, that's a pretty solid one. That's pretty solid.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
Do I like that one better than this one?
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
It's hard listening. It's hard comparing long lines like this because there's so much to hear and remember.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
I don't think I like the way I say disadvantage. Sounds like I'm exhaling a little bit on there. What was that? Sorry, chap. Felt like there was like a pang here. Oh, like I pulled something? No. That was strange. I think it's one of those things where it's like randomly you just sort of have a little bit of stomach acid come up. Just like, a little bit of a spritz. That's probably, I mean, that's bad for me doing voiceover. Again, diet is very important if you're trying to do voiceover at all, you know? So, don't follow my example and don't order a sausage sandwich at your local Greek restaurant.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
Okay, so I think I figured out what I like about what it was I really liked in 1/2 is that this one goes low on disadvantage when the second one that I just deleted and this one goes high, which I think doesn't sound as good.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
It sounds a little airy, you know. And also I don't like the way I delivered disadvantage. Sounds a little Saturday morning cartoon. Or our only option. This may be our only option. You know, it sounds like a cartoon announcer a little bit.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
Okay.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
Okay, so I like this one, I think, a little better over 1. Because this one gets more to the point. It has a faster pace at the beginning. So you get the more vital information faster. But I think it also slows down in the second half to vary the pace of the reading. And it stresses the word only, which is better than having no stress on anything in particular, which I think this one does. And stressing the word only, I think, is probably the optimal stress. Maybe our only option. Probably, because it gets across, you know, it's very clear. You should probably do this thing. And the reason why we only have this option, you know, you only have one option because everything's so hopeless. Yeah. The only issue,
Evac may be our only option.
a little breathy at the end. But I think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages in this case.
We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. We're facing a 4-to-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option.
Okay. So this one is inferior to this one. Because it has the fast delivery, has the varied pace, but it goes high on disadvantage, which I don't prefer in this case. And only option is a little bit too segmented. So we'll take this one. I apologize, chat, for yawning so much. I've been keeping myself rather busy lately, working on a cosplay. Like, I do work, and then I come home, and then I work on the cosplay until I go to bed. And I think that's been tiring me out more than usual. Which is weird, because it's not like physical exertion. But it's, I guess, like the focus of, like, getting all the cuts right and all the measurements. I think that's what's doing it. Oh, there he goes again. Okay. Last line for the Outnumbered. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Apologies. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Dang it. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. I'm not exactly sure what I was doing here, to be frank with you. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. That sounds a little too human, don't you think? Sounds a little bit too organic. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Yeah, too organic. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Hold on. I zoned out a little. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Okay. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. It's a little intense there. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. No. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Ooh, okay. It's pretty solid. Has some pretty different takes here. Boosh. 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 Kasploosh. Boom. Wait. Yes. Okay. These are so different from each other, or these are relatively different from each other. This shouldn't take as long as the previous line to assess.
Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac.
Okay.
Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac.
Okay. Yeah. I think I like the delivery style on this one. The do not engage, period, and be ready to evac. The pause between that, I think it has has a great effect. Usually I don't like having that pause there, but it works for this one.
Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac.
It's technically good too. You know, I think everything is pronounced correctly.
Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac.
Yeah. That one's solid. What?
Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac.
Yeah, this is the line where Warhorse loses all faith in their pilot. And just like, yeah, we're gonna need to teleport out of here. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful, chat? Chat, there are only 11 lines left in this whole project. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if we'll be done today. If we're not, then the majority of the next voiceover stream could probably be me like editing this together and figuring out how to do like the filters that it needs. Because I don't know if we'll be able to do 11 lines. Well, maybe. I don't know. That sounds kind of sad, right? I don't know if I'll be able to do 11 lines in 50 minutes. It's a little intense. Of course, I'm also doing the process of selecting them. If this was like a voiceover session, it wouldn't take as long to get through. Cuz usually all the selecting of the best takes happens afterwards and we're doing it at the same time as we're delivering them. So, maybe it's not as sad as I think. I hope. But before we move on to enemy pilot on hull, I'm gonna take another short break. So bear with me here, and I'll be right back. here I am, once again. Okay. Weird that these are so far down. Kind of out of order. I think I mentioned this before. I feel like some of these categories are a little out of order, but I wrote them down in the order I saw them in a, like, you know, official, well, not official, a collection of official lines. Do I have a pencil sharpener? It doesn't matter. Okay. Boosh. Kaboom. Okay. An enemy pilot is on our hull. 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 An enemy pilot is... Ah! Ow, that hurt. Anyway. An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull. Ah, chat. That hurt. Yikes. I was doing like this movement here to sort of help me get into character. I slammed the finger on my counter. That was not pleasant. Did that peak? Oh, it did not. An enemy pilot is on our hull. No. An enemy pilot is on our hull. Maybe. I don't kind of like that one. An enemy pilot is on our hull. Okay, kind of weird. An enemy pilot is on our hull. Sure. An enemy pilot is on our hull. Not articulated well. An enemy pilot is... Ah! You heard that? Bing! Yeah. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that one is not making the cut. Clearly. An enemy Ouch. An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull. What the heck was that? It's only 7 o'clock. Why do I sound like that? An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull. Yeah, I think the finger counter incident kind of threw off my groove. But that's okay, because we got the best takes at the beginning. So let's review. An enemy pilot is on our hull. 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 Okay. An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull. So 3 is just a better version of 1. So I'll take that away. An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull.
An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull.
I kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of torn here.
An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull.
Because this one sounds like annoyed, right? Sounds like ugh, an enemy pilot on our hull. It's more likely than you think, pilot. This one's like,
an enemy pilot is on our hull.
This is more matter of fact.
An enemy pilot is on our hull. An enemy pilot is on our hull.
Yeah. Thinking about it in context, I think the second one is just a little too lacking of energy.
An enemy pilot is on our hull.
Energyless, if you will. Unenergetic. There has to be a better word for that, right? No. That's just several words in a row. That you'd call that a sentence, I think. Okay. Whoop. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Hydrate. Lord. Enemy. An enemy? Enemy. Just enemy. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull.
Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull.
Up and down, up and down.
Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. 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 Enemy pilot stuck to our hull.
Let me hear that again.
Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull.
Okay. So I'm getting rid of the ones that I think either have a weird delivery or aren't putting the proper stress on words like our hull. I think our hull is the most important. Or, enemy pilot in our hull. Those are the things you need. Because that's the main idea of the line. Enemy pilot, our hull. Right? Take away everything else. If you just have those words, then you know what you're talking about. So those lines, like those skeleton lines that make up the main idea, generally those are what you want to stress. Boosh. Boosh. What do you sound like?
Enemy pilots stuck to our hull. Enemy pilot 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 stuck to our hull.
So this one doesn't have the stresses that I just mentioned. So we'll take this away. And we'll listen to these two again.
Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. 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 Enemy pilot stuck to our hull.
I kind of like the second one because the first one, it sounds like I spliced two lines together when I didn't. Sounds like enemy pilot stuck to our hull. You know? It sounds weird. And disjointed is the word. So let's take another listen to this just to make sure I'm sold.
Enemy pilots stuck to our hull.
Yeah, I think that'll do.
Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. The enemy pilot on our hull has been swatted away. The hostile pilot on our hull is dead.
Just wanted to hear the sort of tonality of when we kill a pilot on our hull versus when a pilot arrives on our hull. I think this is appropriate to have a more high-pitched alert, to be more alert when they arrive than when they die.
Enemy pilot stuck to our hull.
It joins its brother.
An enemy pilot is on our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull.
Boosh. Haven't saved in a while, have I? That can be dangerous. Especially since my laptop likes to be a little kooky sometimes. You know, just that little bit quirky. Ish. Whoop. Okay.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. You know, it might be funny to do sort of like, there's a snake in my boot. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. Let's try that. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. 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 There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Maybe, maybe not. This could be bad.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
No.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Voice crack.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Very slurred.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
That works.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Clumsy.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
No.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
That's funny, though. That one is funny. Let's listen to these. I may do retakes. I may just record more takes because I'm not so certain one of these is going to be a winner.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
This I love this one because it sounds so incensed. Like, can you believe it? I got home from work today, and there was a pilot on my chassis. Are you kidding me? You know, it's really funny. It might be a little out of character, but it's funny.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. 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 There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Maybe I should keep it. Just for the laughs.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Pilot on our chassis. You know, I will say this. This one is unique.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our... There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
I mean, past the sort of humor of it, I guess, it's probably not the best. So, we'll get rid of it. But do we want to keep this one?
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. An enemy pilot is on our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
No. It's probably best that we just do some retakes. Sorry. Pilot on our chassis.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. Let's try that. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. 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 There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Oh, this peaked, didn't it? Uh-oh.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Which one of these peaked? I think it was this one.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Oh, no? Not that one?
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Okay, let me start over.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. 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 There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Okay. I don't know what peaked.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
I saw it here. I guess I forgot to clear it from the last time? Anyway, doesn't matter because these three are getting scrapped. For these,
there's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
that one's pretty solid. That's probably the winner, but we'll give the others a chance.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
This feels a little more disjointed than this one does. So we'll chop that one.
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Ooh, actually, this one might be better.
There's an enemy pilot. There's an enemy pilot. There's an enemy pilot. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
I think that one's better than this one. I think the slightly lower pitch is an improvement. The pacing is a bit more dynamic. I think the way I say on our chassis here.
Pilot on our chassis. On our chassis.
It holds a little longer. I think it sounds more confident. So we'll take this. I mean, really, I don't need to justify something in this much detail, but because this isn't being submitted as professional work or anything. But I think it's a helpful exercise nonetheless. I hope it doesn't bore anybody to death. Although I do understand that this isn't the most exciting content. So why do I do it, you may ask? Good question. What does this next take sound like?
There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. 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 There's an enemy pilot on our chassis.
Okay. Then that one sounds a little just too homogeneous. Doesn't have a dynamic pace like this one does. Therefore, it's like in school when you couldn't just like write the answer. You'd have to explain your answer, even if it's the most obvious like explanation ever. You still need to write down the explanation anyway, just as a formality. Oh. Whoa. Hello? You scared the shit out of me. I knew I should have locked this door. Jeez. Had some family and friends over. They got home earlier than I expected them to. So, I think I'm actually gonna end the stream so I can, be a good host here. Huh? Okay. My producer is informing me that I have time to finish out the stream. So you guys don't know this, but there's a window on my room that you can theoretically speak to me through. Yeah. I think I still have a little bit of adrenaline going. That woke me up. I was expecting them later, so like it scared me when that door was starting to open. It's like, oh no. I have a pencil. Anyway, what's the next line? Hostile pilot has hitched a ride. 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 A picture frame got a little crooked there. Hostile pilot has hitched a ride. 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 A good even split here. Wow, it got a perfectly alternating pattern. Wait, that's not perfectly alternating. That's not perfectly alternating. There we go. Boosh. Hostile pilot has hitched a ride. Hostile pilot has hitched a ride. I like this one, but But the volume increase on Hitched, I don't know if I like that spike.
Hostile pilot has hitched a ride. Hostile pilot has hitched a ride. Hostile pilot has hitched a ride.
Both of these have that problem.
Pilot has hitched a ride. Hostile 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 pilot has hitched a ride.
I think that one, because it doesn't have that weird spike, I'll take that one over the others. Oh boy, I hope they're not. I put away all of my cosplay materials. Put the costume in a nice bag. Hopefully they haven't touched it. It would be a little fragile if you don't know what you're doing. It's made of tinfoil and duct tape and cardboard. So thought one of them tried to sneak in. Maybe I should lock the door. A hostile pilot is on our hull. Wait. No. The other one was an enemy pilot is on our hull. So let's hear what that sounds like so we can differentiate this one.
An enemy pilot is on our hull.
A hostile pilot is on our hull.
A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull.
They're just unpacking some stuff. This one peaked. We don't like peaking. Like everything else we can kind of deal with, but peaking is the one thing that you can't really have any tolerance for. Ooh, achoo.
A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull.
Okay.
A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull.
We'll take these three into account.
A hostile pilot is on our hull. 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 A hostile pilot is on our hull.
What I wanted to go with was a descending. What is it? Pitch? Descending pitch? To contrast what we had going on over here.
An enemy pilot is on our hull.
To contrast the ascending pitch.
A hostile pilot is on our hull.
So this has the descending.
A hostile pilot is on our hull.
That one descends.
A hostile pilot is on our hull.
Okay, so they all check that mark, which doesn't help us at all.
A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull.
These two are like the same, aren't they?
A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull.
This one sounds a little more sloppy, actually.
A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull. A hostile pilot is on our hull.
This one sounds a little too annoyed. It's a little too organic. You know, I've been trying to think of the word to describe how a line might sound too not robotic. Organic. That's the word. Organic. Sounds too organic. That's all the lines on this category, actually. Which means we have 6 to go. Let's hear what we got. I like to hear them all in a row.
An enemy pilot is on our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. Hostile pilot has hitched a ride.
Ooh, hold on. Here it ramps up like
hostile. Hostile.
Was that just an illusion? I know I heard a longer run up there.
On our chassis. Hostile pilot has hitched a ride. A hostile ride.
I know I heard that one.
Ride.
It was like a inhale or something.
Ride. A hostile has hitched a ride. A hostile pilot is on our hull.
Okay, there we go. Always important to listen back. All right. Warning. Wait. No, enemy on hull. So this is, I don't know why this exists. I guess it's just a generic. This is a generic line for any enemy on the hull, but the only type of enemy that can be on your hull is a pilot. Like a grunt isn't going to jump up on there. Not that I've seen anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. But it exists, so I will record for it.
Enemy on hull. 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 Enemy on hull.
These seem pretty solid. I need to stop giving myself so many to look through.
Enemy on hull. 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 Enemy on hull.
Okay. Some good ones. There's some good ones. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Split there. Take those. Okay, delete those. Okay, so out of all those, we have 3 that I think are interesting enough to look at in detail.
Enemy on hole. Enemy on hole. Enemy on hole. Enemy on hole. Enemy on hole.
It's a little growly, don't you think? Has a little bit of on the end, which I have been avoiding so far. So
Enemy on hole. Enemy on hole.
this is like this, but without the growl.
Enemy on hole. Enemy on hole. Enemy on hole.
Yeah. I'll take away number 1 here.
Enemy on hole. Enemy on hole.
Enemy on hole.
Enemy on hole.
It does sound relaxed, but I kind of wanted to go with a sort of like, here we go again. You know the drill kind of tone, you know?
Enemy on hole.
This one is kind of weird sounding. Enemy on hole. Like they're surprised, which I suppose they are.
Enemy on hole.
It just does. It's not as clear of a message as this.
Enemy on hole. Enemy on hole. Enemy on hole.
I think there's a very cowboy way of talking as well. Kind of like, you know, like two ranch hands talking to each other. Like, hey, yup, this thing's happening. Yeah, I know. I know what to do. Save. Hydrate. Probably have time to record and evaluate one more line. Which will be
Enemy on our back. 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 That ought to work.
Actually, you know what? This is the last one. I can stand up for this one.
Enemy on our back.
Did that peak or not?
Enemy on our back. Enemy on our back. Enemy on our back. Enemy on our back. Enemy on our back.
That peaked?
Okay. Okay. Enemy on our back. Enemy on our back. Enemy on our back. Enemy on our back.
Oh, that was it? Interesting. Okay. So, in a strange turn of events, there's only one line that I liked, and it was the first one.
Enemy on our back. Enemy on our back. Enemy on hull. Enemy on our back.
I like this one. Enemy on our back. It's a little more alert than this one. It has a little bit of an annoyed tinge, but still reasonable. Good. I'm glad that didn't take 10 minutes to figure out either. Okay, well, wow. We made a lot of progress today. I think this is probably the highest number of lines we've recorded in a single session. I could be wrong. I haven't been keeping track of stats or anything, but I feel like we did a lot. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 lines today recorded and evaluated. That's pretty good. I think, anyway. So here's what I like to do. I'd like to listen through everything that we've recorded today, and then we'll sign off. So,
Outnumbered 2-1. 2 Titans to our 1, pilot. They're a gun up on us, pilot. Seek friendly firepower. Outnumbered 2-1. Don't stop moving. Outnumbered 3-1. We're alone against a... Outnumbered 3-1.
hold on.
Outnumbered 3-1.
Noticed an error there.
We're...
Oh, what? I just want to move you. What is that? What is that? Hold on. I've messed something up. Just... okay.
Outnumbered 3-1. We're alone against a posse of 3. 3-1. We're severely outgunned. Rendezvous with team is recommended. Outnumbered 3-1. Outnumbered 3-1.
Oh no. See, I should have checked these beforehand. Because I'm noticing...
Recommended. Outnumbered 3. Recommended.
I'm noticing like little sound errors.
Team is recommended. Outnumbered 3-1. Find cover and call for backup. Outnumbered 4-1. 4 of them. 1 of us. We're facing a 4-1. Outnumbered 4-1. 4 of them. 1 of us. We're
yeah, I heard like a swallow or something.
of us.
That won't fly.
Us. We're facing a 4-1 disadvantage. Warp evac may be our only option. Outnumbered 4-1. Do not engage and be ready to evac. An enemy pilot is on our hull. Enemy pilot stuck to our hull. There's an enemy pilot on our chassis. Hostile pilot has hitched a ride. A hostile pilot is on our hull. Enemy on hull. Enemy on our back. Alright. I think that all sounds pretty good, if I do say so myself. Great job, team. Oops. Okay. That peaked. So let me save our progress here. And I'll perform our closing ceremonies, I guess. So, that's the end of the stream for tonight. Thank you, everybody that chose to come to the stream, support the stream. I say it every time, but you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here. So thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Even if, you're not saying anything or you're watching it in the background or whatever. I don't care how you're enjoying. I just hope that you are enjoying the stream. So, I said this at the beginning of the stream, but I won't be streaming on Friday because I'll be on vacation. So this is the last stream for the week. But next week, next Monday, I'll be back and I will probably most likely be finishing my Fallout New Vegas playthrough. So if you're interested in seeing that, then I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you swing by and watch me liberate the wasteland, maybe. But until then, thank you again so much for coming. Have a good night. I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. And I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.